Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Chippendale Rescue Rangers. They're coming to save the day. Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Chippendale. Chippendale. Chippendale Rescue Rangers. There's always someone to rescue. Someone to rescue. I can't remember the rest of the words. Chippendale. Mr. Pennypacker. Mr. Pennypacker is staring at me.
What are you doing? You are singing Disney afternoon songs. Well, what is it, Buster Douglas? Buster Keaton, Michael Keaton, what are you doing? You're acting like this is 1989 or something. You just come after school and you're watching DuckTales and all that, and watching the neighbors play Legend of Zelda. What are you up to here?
Oh, I just felt like singing a song.
That's the new theme of the show. It's actually a good way to start the show, actually. I never really thought about that. You kind of just started singing, and that's actually a good way because your singing is just so awful. And that's actually the comedy of it. Okay, Billy Glad, how you doing? Well, Mr. Pennypacker, Dark Milo, we are all doing good down here at the cabin. We just got done playing that WWE game. That was some excellent commentary. Your knowledge of wrestling is by far none very good. Talk about the Dave Meltzer stuff. I love that. Unfortunately, the W2KA games are garbage. They're absolute garbage. And let's be honest. Maybe that version you were playing, it was probably, I would say, of all the versions of W2K I played, I would say that one is okay. Okay, but I don't know. It's not really fun to me. You know, I don't know. It's not the same. It's not the same. Like I like Fire Pro. I like New Japan Pro Wrestling, Tuka Rasuden. I like the Aki games. I don't really. I really kind of blocked off most of those kind of games. I mean, it does. I used to play a lot of those games. Excuse me. I used to play a lot of those games, but I just got burned out on them. Billy, what do you think? Well, that's a very astute reason. You're just trying to pick up all these like fancy words, just trying to sound super smart. There was people like that I knew growing up. They try to act super smart, and the real reality is that normal people don't really talk that way, Billy. All right. I mean, and there's people who have gone on to perfectly fine jobs afterwards. It wasn't like they were stupid. It's just you don't really have to ham it up all the time. I realize you are a quantum computer, and well, actually, yeah, that's true. But actually, like I said, I've been busy with my studies and stuff. But yeah, wrestling it's something I've always had a pressure. Oh, he's glitched. Okay, I'm gonna have to go in the code and start working on that. He needs a patch, I think. For Glenn, you ready? What is going on in Glenn is you're gonna be playing Demon Souls on the PlayStation 5, not the PlayStation 1. I mean the PlayStation 3. That would actually be a fun little homebrew experiment if someone try it. Is to do a version of the Souls games on a PlayStation 1, because that would be hilarious. It'd probably look like Deadly Deadly Dungeons or whatever that game was called. That game. Oh, I got it on Steam actually. I always use keyboard and mouse to play it, so it kind of sucks. I don't know. I don't really like that. Very old school, but you can play it. It's playable. But okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna play Demon Souls, and also I kind of want. I realize you're not, guys. I don't think anyone in the Saturn Garage Studios is even remotely good at the Souls games. I'm not even gonna play pretend that I'm good at it. I'm not gonna be like, you guys are horrible. I could beat all you guys. I was actually tempted to just send you guys maybe some kind of let's play of somebody who just beats the shit out of the game, just so that the people at home have some entertainment. Because I know for a fact no one in the Saturn Studios can even remotely get past one level of the Souls games. They own Bloodborne. Frater used to suck at that game. He sucked so hard at that game. And it's not like he didn't try, but like, you need to understand, fans of the Souls games are a sensitive bunch. They see anybody doing something they wouldn't do or not understand, like when it's time to roll at a certain right time, like to know when the hitboxes are. There's people who are just scientists. Like, you don't understand. The Souls games are easy to them. They're easy sauce because they understand when to roll, when to hit, when to. It's actually quite basic to them. Then they can speed run it, and then they know how to glitch through walls, and then it's crazy, man. Whatever happened to just be, kind of be mildly okay at a game, or just kind of suck and still live a happy life. You can't do it anymore. You're one way or the other. See, what it is, guys. We're gonna get some theory on streaming, and you guys are gonna get a clash right now. Number one, it's called grifting, and what it is to me, there's like different levels of grifting, and I've studied this well for over 20 years. The first level is when you actually start to broadcast, and I know there's going to be people going, "I'm not a grifter. I stream. I'm not a grifter." Yes, you are, but no, I should really say it. Really, the first level, everyone is a grifter, because as soon as you start broadcasting anything to anybody, that is the first level. But of course, the good news is you don't have to continue. You could just, it's advisable to never show your face, never talk about who you really are. Just be anonymous and try to carry level one throughout your life and stay a level one. It's actually one of those things where you don't want to be a grifter any more than level one. You don't want to get to like Donald Trump's level or something. You just don't. So level two is when you actually decide to show your face on a camera. Because where that goes wrong is because what it is there's what it is look, this is guys, this is not 2005 anymore. This is not 2010, okay? This is 2023 now. And I'm going to explain some things. There's a thing called deep fakes. So apparently you must have decided to start a porn career, and you're like going, "Wait, what? I have standards. I would never do that." Well, you're in gay porn too, I hear. What? I'm not in gay porn. I'm a straight man. No, yeah, but we got really realistic footage of you like jerking off two guys, and it's like, what? I'm not. I'm a straight man. No, you don't understand. There's deep fakes. They faked your image, and now people are very convinced you're a very proud gay man now. And you're very proud of streaming it too, apparently. And there's real streamers who now have to deal with the fact that there's deep fakes of them out there really destroying their image, and they have to kind of like either. And that's the thing, is that's the second level. Once you get your face out there, that they can take your image and they can change you. They can even take your voice, which kind of does actually pay well to actually do like funny voices, because yeah, you could do some of the funny voice, but of course it's very possible there's the deep fake stuff can get so good that someday that actually you can actually just. You can actually probably change the voice tone to make it sound like a normal person, and then that would give the people a good idea on how to deep fake you to the next level. But if they don't have your real appearance, they're kind of screwed on that. They could just make up somebody, and it's kind of hard because you can't really truly verify who that person is. Oh, wow, crikey, such impressive. But that's just the second level. That's just the second level. Then you got a live stream, all kinds of IRL streaming, and then you got the grift gets deeper and deeper and deeper until you're on IP2, or you end up like Donald Trump, or it just gets to the point where you're you're on Kiwi Farms. You'll have entries on Kiwi Farms. You'll have entries where A-logs can follow you around, and then of course then there's the whole locale thing. So we fill up 10 minutes. I'm kind of aiming to get these shows, by the way, a little shorter by maybe like 40 minutes. The gameplay is going to be going down to a half hour now. I really don't think this stuff is interesting enough to go a whole hour anymore. You're not even doing, like, except for the last show. You guys really went for the whole time. And that was impressive. Unfortunately, that means I got to have you guys just play WWE or play Aki games or something. I told you I'm trying to keep the modern games, okay? So that's that. That's just it, okay? So you guys okay? You're gonna now go play the game. Oh, okay. Well, Billy, looks like we're in some trouble now.
Oh yeah, we got demon souls here.
Oh well. How cracky crackies. Well, you know how well we do with Souls games.
Well, I actually don't think anyone in the Saturn Garage Studios can play a Souls game.
Well, Billy, these games are very particular. You gotta understand about what, we gotta understand what you're doing, and you gotta understand, the pixels and where to roll, when not to roll. It's all timing, actually. And there's people who are autistic, and they,
well, actually, to be told the truth, Frater is like autistic but deeply ADHD. I don't even know how that honestly works, because basically that means is people with ADHD, they have a problem where they have problems with concentrating, whereas like if someone's autistic, they can't like focus on other people, but like for example, like computer programming, they could just sit there all day and program a whole system and website, and I don't know, Frater.
Oh, he's probably. Oh, jeez. Probably more ADHD then, But of course, then again, when you don't really get diagnosed, you really not entirely sure what's going on. He has problems concentrating, so he's. I'm sorry. That's, yeah, but nonetheless, here the point of the matter is we all suck here, suck here at playing the Souls games, and I can kind of tell with Mr. Pennypacker, he was kind of like, well, you guys could give a shot at playing this. Generally, everyone here is pretty bad at playing this, and I don't know what it is. I think you just gotta have like a certain genetic trait to be very good at these games. Maybe you gotta be very anxiety driven or something. Well, that's right. I think too, like there's people, and don't get me wrong, there's people who can get world records and they do speed running and all that. But damn well it's because they're perfectionists, and they're absolutely brutal to themselves. They absolutely can't sleep well at night unless they know they beat a game or something. Because, well, what it is people, when you think about it, look, there's a 90% chance you're not going to really win all that much in life. And video games actually allow you to do that. So it's very frustrating when someone makes a game so you can't. It's like a sixth sense of humor. It's like, yeah, I can never get a promotion. Yeah, I can never find the right job. Yeah, I can never do this. But at least I can play this video game and I can beat it and get a good record. And the answer is no. You just absolutely losing, and we just died. Yeah, we just died, folks. This is we might as well come to some acceptance of some things. This is just really the first real level, and Frater told me, and he told Billy too. You know, he said, you know, I really liked that game, and I never got past the first level. It's like, you know, it's yeah, and he's like the one that's supposed to train us. Well, I think Frater's thing is like, he's like, you don't understand. It's just about playing the games. It's not about being good at them. You know, because he told me, told me and Billy when he was training us, he says, look, there's two kinds of gamers in the world. There's ones that are just satisfied, and, you know, they may not win many games, but they're just satisfied. They're just calm. Boring as hell. I mean, he said the real reality is people need content. And he says what it is a Spurg is going to get a lot more viewers than just a guy who's easygoing. But a guy who's easygoing, who's a nice guy, is going to get a lot more followers, though, in the end. Well, yeah, well, Frater was telling me about this one streamer. Why are we killing ourselves? Wow, we got no health left. We might as well just we're going to just end up resetting anyway, so... So yeah, so basically what it is Frater kind of told us, you know, he said that amongst like streamers, you know, like really the reality is there's really three. Wow, he said two, but he really said three. But he's really obsessed with things in threes. I know, and then he'll tell you two things, and he forgets what the third one was. His ADHD is so bad. I know. Yo, it's so bad. You know, and I know you'd be like, well, don't you think he'd be mad if you're talking behind his back? Guys, he's in another dimension. Yeah, he's stuck in the year 2011. I don't think he knows what's going on right now. I think he's having enough problems with Mr. Peck and Mr. Peter Graves and Pookapi Adams. I don't think he Crack is I don't think he really knows what's going on right now. But I'm just telling you how he is. But yeah, he told about streamers, and he says, yeah, you know, like for example, he not to mention names, but we'll mention names. You may as well. Nobody's watching. That's honest truth. So yeah, so basically you got like Dan's Gaming, and Dan's Gaming, Frater says, you know, and there's been times Dan's been kind of a dick too, but I think if you stream every fucking day to, oops, you farted. Oh, Mr. Pennypacker isn't gonna like that. He tells us this is PBS now, and we gotta be very clean. And well, just say you farted. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Computer Algorithm. I farted. Old farty pants here. Old farty pants. I wonder, like, I noticed, like, you sound so much like Gregory Peck, though. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of like, well, Gregory Peck talks more out of the side of his mouth, and then I talk out the nice straight. Like if you do, yeah, that's more like Gregory Peck. With me, it's just more talking like this, very out straight. The words come straight out of my mouth instead of the side of my mouth. Yeah, it's a really good way to just put it, yeah. So, like, yeah, so basically Dan's Gaming, you know, he's just this nice guy, and he's very knowledgeable, but at the time still funny, you know, and it's, and you know what? Frater talked about this, and he really talked about this.
He says the oldest streamers from the Justin TV days, Dan is the survivor. He's a survivor. He's the one that has maintained over 1,000 views, and I think I congratulate him. He said I congratulate Dan's Gaming. It's just he keeps over that 1,000. You keep over 1,000 viewers, and even when you're like hitting 800 or whatever, that's still considered really good. Like 800's oh, we fell down the hole. Well, here we go again. I'm sorry. Fader kind of warned that people who really like this game are probably not going to enjoy us playing it. Well, Fader told me when he played Bloodborne, that was like no better. You know, he said he played a good amount of it on VidMe, and that was like, you know, and he didn't get anywhere past level 1. He says this is a kind of a habit. Yeah, with Elden Ring, we kind of played that for a little bit too, and you just sort of wander around. It doesn't tell you where to go, and it would really help to have a Game Pro. It would really help to have a Nintendo Power strategy guide or something. You don't know where you're going. You're just wandering somewhere. You don't even know if you're going with the proper sequence of things. I know. You can look it up. You can Google it. I know. But we're lazy. So we're just going to just sort of walk by these people. Well, what are we going to do? I mean, we're just getting pummeled, you know. Frater kind of mentioned, he says, try not to stay in the same level all the time when you make these videos because it looks bad. So you might as well make it as crazy looking as you can. And so, we made him fall down the hole. That looks real good on video. And so we're just going to have to kind of roll with it here. About the streamers things, folks, we're trying not to get derailed. That's a big thing at Saturn Rod. We don't like derailment. It drives people with autism and ADHD right for the fucking roof. Like Freya and Mr. Pennypacker. Mr. Pennypacker, he's been actually known to burn people. he's actually not, like he says that if there is something you do, you keep on course, don't get derailed. And I'm afraid to say we got a little derailed on that. So there might be some pain. So basically what it is with streamers, you get the comm types, and the comm types, you know, that may not last long because they deal with a lot of trolling and stuff. The reality is folks, you can't do this and be thin-skinned, because if you do, you're going to be in a mental ward. You're not going to be able to do this. Okay, so what it is, you know, like someone says, they keep putting these little try-hard emoticons. It's driving me insane. And it's like, and it's just an emoticon. It's a little guy with his mouth open going, yeah. It's like a little try-hard emoticon. Well, it's because they assume it's some kind of racism too, and well, if you make them think that, then they gotcha. You know, you gotta just kind of like smile. Frater used to talk about Stream Me and Bitwave, and he says like spamming used to be a thing. It just was part of how things were. Yeah, it's hard to. You can't read the chat, and he said, well, but if you think about, well, who cares? Like what? Who cares what's being said, really? I mean, of course, that's why Frater's channel is the way it is because he don't pay attention to anybody. But Mr. Pennypacker too. Yeah, I've got to know is Mr. Pennypacker's really the main powerhouse behind Saturn Grad. I really think so. I have come to that conclusion myself. I thought he was originally just a villain like Dark Milo, and I really like Dark Milo. He's become a nice guy to me. Well, I told you, you gotta be careful. He's a very manipulative, very powerful man. He's a stupid man too because his ego gets out of control. But I'm just trying to say, you don't understand. You don't understand. Shut up. Oh, Billy, I'm losing you, man. Okay, but okay, back to what I was saying. Getting derailed. So basically, streamers. Then you get ones that spurk, and what it is you need to understand there are a whole class of human beings that live in this world that are absolutely. It's like they wear hair shirts, and hair shirts is what monks used to wear in monasteries to punish themselves for sin. Yeah, and they used to take like they made little whips and they would whip themselves. They would whip themselves, kind of to be kind of like when Christ's crucifixion was happening, and they want to feel that, and really I don't think that was God's plan for people is to just beat themselves mercifully. I don't remember in Genesis or any of that God saying, and of course Christ is God, so I don't even remember him then. Everything was meant to be a parable. It wasn't meant to be. Oh yeah, by the way, take a 4x4 and just beat yourself like your hacksaw Jim Duggan. Well, actually, yeah, but imagine if you just beat yourself crazy. Yeah, and you just feel better about everything. I've never figured out how to get that little item right there behind the boards. I think what happens is I just realize it now. I think you gotta wait for one of those like big destructive balls to come crushing through some of the walls and stuff. And yeah, if you backtrack, maybe that's when you can finally get that item. Wow, well, that's something new. I didn't know that when I was recording this. Yeah, oh well. So yeah, so basically, Billy, um, like this one streamer I watch, which I'll just say is his name is Andy. I'm not gonna say the full title because I don't want someone to go to this guy and be like, this guy who has no viewers, he's just totally trashing you. This guy, he's entertaining. He's a little too heavy on memes. Like he repeats the same memes over and over and over every time. He just loves it. Well, he's very. That's the sign of autism. Like a lot of times that's a method of coping and trying to deal with the fact you're really you. The reality is a lot of times these people are not. They're not social. But when they actually do these shows, they actually do try to do. They a lot of times they act like 10 times more than the real personality is. Yeah, they do that. So, and I know we're not talking about the game because we suck. We suck at the game. We're terrible. So I just been alerted by Mr. Pennypacker for a text. He says that, look, this playthrough is not going to go any much longer because your guys are so bad at it. I want you guys, he says, to play Fall Guys. Because even though, well, Freighter wouldn't like that. He don't like any kind of, like, battle royals or... Well, it's Mr. Pennypacker's show. Mr. Pennypacker just said in text, he says, actually, Fall Guys is very addictive. It's very fun. Don't stop. I mean, try it. It's very fun. Well, I like fun. Well, we'll give it a few minutes. We'll play it until we get eliminated. We can do that. And right now we're getting clobbered. Well, now you're really getting clobbered. Oh boy, the Dark Souls effect. Oh boy. And to achieve your goal, you must leave this world. Well, we didn't achieve that goal. So, again, with Andy, and the problems is the guy absolutely beats the shit out of himself You farted again. I know. Did a poop popsicle. Poop popsicle. That's great. Okay, so what it is with the guy, he absolutely tries so hard to be funny and says these memes, impressions of Frasier. Who the heck watches Frasier anymore? I know it's like, when I was in when I remember Fraser talking about being in high school. He said he used to watch Seinfeld with his friends and stuff like that. But he said that about the Fraser thing, and it's like he said I don't know. He said I don't think I knew anybody in high school watched Frasier. It was just sort of a you know it was the grown up show. You know what I mean? It's hard to to like our show if it's not really geared for you. You're not going to understand the jokes. I'm sure it's funny now, but well, it's because it's on that Hulu thing, and it's like Frater just never really got into that. Yeah. So Andy, the problem with Andy and these streamers is the people have inferiority complexes. They need to, and especially if they're atheist. See, Frater doesn't. The way he copes for life is he's almost like a Benedictine monk. Like he'll watch an SSPX Tridentine Latin Mass like every day at 3 in the morning. That's like left over from his occult days. You realize it's because in the occult, witches and warlocks and all that, they do their rituals at 3 in the morning. I know. I'm really afraid of yet. Well, that's because, Billy, it's because when people experiment with something, if it becomes part of their personality, it stays that way. The only thing it changes is there might be something that replaces a big element of that, but there's still sort of core elements. Like Fraser just prefers to do all the Catholic stuff that early in the morning. He says it's most quiet, and he can listen to a comp line. He can do some verses, read some verses from the Dewey Rames translation of the Latin Vulgate, which is the Bible, folks. And you can listen to. He usually listens to an SSPX mass from Germany, and then he'll go watch a shorter one from Great Britain. That's very fascinating. Yeah, he's always been fascinating. He was my trainer, and he taught me a great deal about St. Augustine. And Billy, he doesn't really care about St. Augustine. Yeah, you mean Aristotle. Yeah, there you go. So back to what we were saying again, folks, is like with streamers, streamers, they just have a tendency to, they're compensating for some. So in the case of Andy, he's compensating for the fact he doesn't have like God. He's never really said spiritually what he is. I've kind of noticed a lot of streamers are atheists. But it used to be. Frater said it was so much worse back in like 2010. Oh, it was militant atheism back then. But yeah, Frater always says what it is. It's a God particle, and what it is people need to have either God or they replace God with something. And of course, it's always a hollow thing because God is our creator. So without that, you don't really have. You really got to compensate hard. Like if you're in Star Wars, you got to obsess about things that are really trivial and really not. You don't really need to do that, actually. So, so for example, this Andy guy, the way he gets through life is, and look, I will say it, he says a lot of things of truth. Like he'll talk about why he's not a musician anymore. And he says it's because there's so many things in life that require you to be perfect. You can't screw up on any chords. You can't. And well, it's like Frater said that. He said about why he doesn't take playing guitar seriously. He's got, he's okay. Now we're going to be moving on to Fall Guys. There's going to be a little bit of a lag here with, I got to set up the video footage because we could just make part 1, part 2 out of the audio, and I'm lazy. So I'm just going to, okay, so I'm just going to need to remember, note to self, when you're doing the video editing, don't put the two videos side by side. Have a little bit of a black screen just to fill that in. Okay, so what's going on is for about 7 minutes we're gonna play Fall Guys. We haven't. This is very fun. Now, like I said again about Andy, look, I think he's a pretty good speed runner. Right? I think he's pretty good, but he beats himself up so much, and actually, if you think about it, then the job becomes just horrible. But then what happens a lot of times to guys like him, then he takes it out on people in the chat room, which is an absolute recipe for disaster. It's very anti-business. Oh yeah, I've seen literally, no joke. He'll have like a good day. And just do absolutely. He'll have like a good day, but then all of a sudden, someone in chat. One of the things that really tease him off is if you like type in LOL if he loses. Like that hurts him. Oh, it hurts him. It's his ego. He's really. It's really he just can't handle that. So, well, we qualified, Billy. That's good. Yeah. We'll just keep going till we don't qualify anymore. We get eliminated. It's a pretty fun game, Mr. Pennypacker. So you guys will like it. It's really up your alley. But what's with the name? It's AV Cirque. I think Frater was just like Frater said. Like he noticed with a lot of streamers that they seem to where their mistake is. They seem to. I don't know. I think Frater was just going for a strange name. He wanted a name that was like totally undecipherable, and so that's why. So again, with streamers, the big problem is when they beat themselves up, and the speed running thing is a kind of a problem because I don't really think they even enjoy the game most of the time. They're just so focused on perfectly, and then the thing is you've come to the realization is most games aren't designed that way. They're RNG. There's a lot of RNG going on. But it's like Darkest Dungeons. Like Darkest Dungeons, if you think you're going to speed run that, you better you might want to think differently because the RNG could just decide you're going to lose. Well, that's kind of it. It's if the RNG decides, well, you're going to lose today, then you're going to lose. Okay? It's not, there's no. There's really no way to get around it, and then I notice a lot of times a lot of these games aren't designed for skill so much. I'm sorry, we're getting smacked around here. So yeah, that's basically it. And we're getting whacking and smacking here. Yeah, we like barely qualified here. Like we're just. Well, I only know that thing barely touched us. So. Yeah, it's amazing we qualified because we were just getting like smacked around so much. I mean, it's a fun game. I'll say it's fun. I mean, but whoa, it's well, yeah, we qualified, but we barely qualified. Yeah, you can see it was round over right there. Look at that, folks. We were like in the last four. We were so close to not making it. So really, yeah. Well, yeah. I'm gonna tell you, this round right here, I think we really need to like look this one up online. Unfortunately, we didn't do this when we did the recording. I should have. Which is, I don't know how to play this game. It says some players start with tails. Make sure you have a tail when the timer runs out. I don't understand this game. So there's like these like it says some players have tails and some don't. I don't really quite understand that. It says grab a tail. So I think what it is you just gotta kind of jump around and wait for somebody to drop a tail. I don't know. Yeah, we didn't quite understand this one, folks. Yeah, we just um, just grab a tail. Billy, I just noticed about. Of course, I unfortunately I didn't notice it when I was playing it. It says to grab a tail, you gotta press R2. Okay, well, we totally missed that one. So we didn't win that one. Okay. Yeah, we definitely did win that one. And we're going to lose this one because we just didn't know the rules, So what you got to do is you got to hit R2, and that's what you got to do. Well, that's what you got to do, Billy. It's a round over, and we got eliminated. So that's sort of the end of that, folks. The next few shows, we're gonna be playing God of War. We're starting there. Mr. Pennypacker is really got some really good stuff coming, folks. Well, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.